You would foster great relationship with your teammates. You took advantage of your teammates' insecurities, and you're going to fail, in the long run. But you look at, when I talk about driving people on the ground, you talk about defense, the other guys, it was amazing to me. Once I learned the game and got settled in and relaxed and really studied the game and became kind of a true professional, I could start to study the 11 guys that were across from me. In the moment, I could look them in the eye, and I started to, by studying them on film and getting to know them better, people give themselves away. One of my favorites was, for the Dallas Cowboys, was Darren Woodson. He played many years for the Cowboys at safety. He was a very good player, very good guy, smart guy. And so being so smart, he would use that smart to try to trick people. He was very tricky. But his tricks were always the same because we're all creatures of habit. I always worked on things I did every time the same, because you had to break the mold, because if you did everything the same, everyone got to jump on you. That was that same analysis of yourself. What do I give? I hate poker, but it's all that same stuff. Like, what's my tell, right? What's my little thing that I'm giving away? Studying that, understanding yourself, now using it against your opponent. Darren Woodson, every time he was going to blitz, right? He was going to come and blitz me. He wouldn't look at me, right? Because it was almost like if he looked at me, I could tell. So he'd be looking away, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, here he comes, right? I almost wanted to tell him, Darren, look at me, right, to just play with him, because he's like, I can't see you. I don't know where you are. I don't know where you are. But that's, in negotiations, and it's not necessarily, I never want you to think that I would be preaching taking advantage of other people's weaknesses to gain the advantage and pound them into submission, because that doesn't work over the long haul. Because I know in negotiations, in football, it's a little bit of a different element because of score and everything else. But truthfully, in most of the negotiations I've ever been involved in, if there's not a sense, and I know this is old school, it's like you're saying symbiotic, everyone's like, huh. But the win-win thing, right? Because if you don't find a way for everybody to kind of gain momentum together and find a place to land, I'm in negotiations all the time in business now. If you don't allow people a place to land, you're in for the dogfight of your life. People will not give in if they don't have a soft place to land, if you don't give them a place to go that feels okay.